Use these controller settings in Black Ops 6 to gain the edge against your opponents. First of all, your stick sensitivity. Now by default, this will have been set down to 5.5. This setting depends on what you normally use in other games like Warzone or Modern Warfare 3. Personally, I run at 8.8 on Warzone and Modern Warfare 3. And I've found that going one below that at 7.7 is perfect. So for example, if you played at 6.6, you probably do want 5.5, but this is all down to your personal preference. Jingle jingle, pay attention, you're still here. It's a long one, you better lock it in. Moving on to controller vibration. Now again, if you do like vibration, then go for it, turn it on. But honestly, I find it super distracting. If every time I'm firing my gun, getting a grenade thrown at me, some airstrike is coming in, I'm getting my controller buzz in my hands. What do you want, a controller or a rose toy? Moving on to the dead zones. This is key in helping your aim. Black Ops 6 is this handy dead zone tester where if you turn it on, you can actually move your analog sticks and see how much stick drift you have. By default, it's set to 15, which is probably too high for most controllers. If you turn your dead zone all the way down to 0, you can see just how much stick drift you're getting. Tweak this setting until you find the perfect point where there is no longer any movement without you pushing it yourself. For me, that was about a 9 on my left stick and a 10 on my right stick. Now, I don't know why there is a triggered dead zone, but trust me, you want to turn those down to 0. Having it on 0 means the second that your controller detects you pressing that trigger, it's going to activate it, rather than giving you that little bit of a delay. Finally, you're going to want to put your left stick max dead zone down to about 65. This means the controller will be extra sensitive to when you want to move forwards, backwards, left and right. Keyboard and mouse players have an instant input when they press the keys to where they want to move. But on controller, it's all dependent on you actually pushing that stick in that direction. So cutting down that leniency in the maximum threshold means that your character is going to be more responsive to your input. Moving on now to the sensitivity multiplier. Clicking on show more will allow you to fine tune the sensitivity in all of the different states of view that you have in the game. This includes third person, ground vehicles, air vehicles, tablet, but most importantly, your first person aim down sight. You're going to want to turn this down slightly. Some people rock up to 0.75 to really fine tune that small accuracy you need. But personally, I like the 0.9. Onto the movement tab now, and you're going to want to make sure this sprint assist is either on or on tactical sprint assist. Tactical sprint assist is going to make you move the quickest. However, it does have a slight delay to your aim down sight after sprinting. Personally, I prefer that because I can put the moves on people. You want to make sure the sprint assist delay is 0, the sprint assist sideways and sprint assist backwards are turned on. Now, corner slicing, I personally have turned off. And I'm going to show you an example of what corner slicing is so you can make your own decision on if you want this on or off. Adjusting the slide and dive behavior is really going to help you fine tune exactly how you want to play the game. You can switch it to slide only, dive only, prioritizing sliding when you tap the button or prioritizing sliding when you hold the button, and vice versa for diving. This is going to help your controller stop being a controller and start being an extension of your own body. You'll want to make sure that sprint restore is on and slide maintain sprint is on as well. This just means that when you finish doing these actions that might break up your sprint, you can immediately start sprinting afterwards, rather than having a delay. Make sure that your tactical sprint behavior is toggle, and your tactical sprint activation is single tap to sprint. This means you can go from standing still to tactical sprinting in as short a time as possible. In combat behavior, changing your interact/reload behavior to tap to reload means that pressing X quickly will always prioritize reloading your gun. This means that if you want to pick a weapon up off the floor or interact with any of the environment like the secret buttons that are dotted around certain maps, you'll have to hold the X button. This is helpful because it means that you can prioritize your personal actions over interacting with the world itself. I've saved the most crucial setting for last, so if you've stuck around this long, congrats, you've found what so many people have missed. By default, this game has set your FOV, which is your field of view, to 90. There's a very handy picture in the settings that shows you exactly what adjusting your field of view does for you. And basically, the higher the FOV, the more you're going to see in your peripherals. As a controller player, 110 is normally what you want to be playing with, but I've found playing at 120 just helps me move around the map that little bit quicker and react to people on the edge of my screen that I might not have seen otherwise. I'll be posting another video with a guide on all of the visual settings that you should be using to gain the upper hand. So make sure you drop a follow, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.